Morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. I know it's been a long time in the making and I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be filming again. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Trisha. I'm the owner of Golden Wattle Designs. We're a hair accessories business based in Sydney, Australia. So today's video, I'm thinking I'll film a few random days in my life. We've got lots of prep to be completed. I have an exciting piece of information that I'm going to share with you a little later in today's video. I'm just waiting on a little bit of confirmation, and once that comes through, I'll share the information with you. But in the meanwhile, we've got a lot of prep work to get done. Today is Tuesday. I'm starting this vlog on a Tuesday. I spent yesterday finishing a few administrative tasks and such. I also pulled out a whole bunch of fabric that I want to be working on this week. I have decided to set myself up to be in a good place. I usually tend to overwhelm myself with a lot of different tasks through the week. This week will also have a bunch of different tasks, but I've set myself a little bit of a goal and I'm going to try to work towards achieving that. Let me show you the fabric that I've pulled. I'm not going to be able to show you every single piece, but as I'm working, you'll see them. I've picked out a crate full of fabric. I'm just going to set this down. My back's been acting up a bit lately. So what sort of fabric do we have in there? We've got new headbands coming. We've got new scrunchies. We've got new colors of satin scrunchies coming to the shop very, very soon. I have to restock on a bunch of different colors. My black's sold out again, so I need to top up on black. I've got a couple of gorgeous new colors that I can't wait to share with you guys. And I've got some prints as well, both for wire headbands as well as scrunchies. I'm also going to try and throw in a few pastel sort of things in the run up to Easter. So there's going to be a few bits and bobs of a lot of different things going on. Oh, swim scrunchies need to be topped up. Those have been doing really, really well. And there's a couple of prints that I need to work on topping up. So we're going to get down to that as well. So I think that pretty much sums it up for the week. I'm going to pop you guys up where you can get a good glimpse of what I'm working on and start my work for the day. Hey guys, just a little lunchtime catch up. I'm going to take a little break for lunch. It is just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got a lot of cutting done. Let me turn the camera around and show you how much we've gotten done so far. So we've got a few stacks of satin. Most of this is satin fabric, both prints as well as solids. There's a few extra cottons in there, some waffle knits and such. And this here is the little pile that's still to be cut, which I'm going to tackle after lunch. As much as I love breaking up tasks, I've had to just do a lot of this in bulk today, like a bulk cutting day, which I've not done for ages because I seem to have hurt my back last evening as well as my shoulder. So don't know what's going on with that. I was just sitting and I felt like a little back spasm. I hope that kind of goes away really soon because I'm gonna have to sit and sew all of this up. That I'll probably have to do in batches because I won't be able to spend all day on the machine. We'll have to wait and see how things work out, but I'm so excited to get this massive lot done. So I've finally finished all of the cutting for the day. We've totaled about 275-ish, maybe 280 scrunchy scrunchies. So that's 280-ish strips of fabric. Let me show you what that looks like. So I've just stuck them in a couple of containers. And I've got a few stacks. That's all the cutting done for the day. I'm now going to sit and spend a little time doing some editing and try and line up a few videos for you for the next couple of weeks. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day, and after that massive day of cutting, we're finally ready to sit down at the machine and get stitching. So I'm going to spend most of today doing that, and then a little bit in the afternoon, I'll sit and get some of the editing done. I need to get next week's video ready to go. This week's video is already being scheduled. I'm ahead for once, and hopefully it'll stay that way for the future as well. So for now, I'm going to head over to the machine, get started. Good morning, everyone. It's a brand new day. I feel rejuvenated. You know, we had started off on those scrunchy tubes. You've probably seen that. So let me show you what the progress looks like for the day. So here I've got a tab of all the scrunchy tubes stitched up. So this is what everything looks like, everything that's done. I'm still not completely done. There's these little bits, which is the swim, the cottons, and these bits, which are the rest of the satin colors and prints that still need to get done. It's not a lot though, compared to what's already done. I'm hoping to get this all done today, and then a couple of days will be spent on finishing them up. I am running low on elastic, so I've just put in an order for the elastic. Hopefully that will get here in a couple of days. There's also a couple of other things that I've ordered in, and when those come in, I will share them with you. Yesterday, in fact, over the weekend, we made a few trips to IKEA, to Bunnings and the likes. I'm looking at upgrading my displays a tiny little bit, because like you know, last year towards the end of the year, my wire headband display, the one that you guys love so much, that one fell, and it's broken, chipped in a couple of places, and it's starting to look a little ratty. So I'm going to, when I say I mean my dear husband's going to whip up another one. Morning, everyone. It is the next day, and I know I said I would check in around lunchtime, but the day just got ahead of me. I just sat and continued sewing till all of that was done. So lunch was very untimely and pretty late. I didn't really stop till I finished these, but that entire stack of fabric that was left over is all done now. They're all stitched. When I say done, they're all stitched up into little tubes. The last bit that's left is turning the fabric the right side out, putting in the elastic, sewing the elastic down, and lastly putting that finishing or that top stitch on the scrunchies to seal them off. That, I'm afraid, is going to have to wait. I thought I'd be able to kind of deal with all of that just continuously, but we've had a little bit of we've had something really interesting come our way. We've been given an opportunity to vend at our local shopping center. All of this came together in just the last couple of days. I've not said anything about this before because I didn't want to jinx it. I wanted to kind of let all of the paperwork and all of that go through before I said anything. But we just signed our contract yesterday. So I'm going to be there for a week. Starting next week. It's that close. That's one of the only spots that I could get. I've been thinking of doing this for a little over a year now, and for one reason or the other, it's been getting pushed forward, it's been getting cancelled, and so on. So I finally decided to just bite the bullet and go in for it even though one of the only slots available was this soon. So I'm glad to have those scrunchy tubes all stitched up, and I can just pick and choose what I need on a day-to-day basis depending on how the sales go on that given day. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. I am planning to kind of document the entire prep for the pop-up. I'm going to take you along and show you how we prep for our first ever shopping center pop-up. It's the first time I'm doing a week-long event indoors, so it's going to be interesting. All of the paperwork has come through. We've taken care of all of that. Now it's just a matter of getting the final little bits and pieces of product, display, and all that jazz ready for next Monday. Now the challenge here is one, getting my product ready, because I'm going to need enough stock for 7 whole days at the center. And not just that, I'm also going to have to man that stall. I'm doing this all by myself, so fingers crossed that it goes well. There's a few things that I need to get together. One of the challenges at this particular venue is they don't want trestle tables, and those of you who've been here for a bit know that for all of my markets I use trestle tables, so that's going to be a challenge. I think I found a workaround for it. The center will be giving us a couple of bits of furniture and display, subject to availability is what they've told me, so we'll know only closer to the date what we've really got access to. So in addition to that, and as a backup, I'm trying to get a few other tables ready rather, for my displays. My pegboards and all of that are going to be the same. I'm going to not use the massive scrunchy pegboard that you've seen at some of my market setups. I'm hoping to break down that display into 2 pieces and kind of set them on tables. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around what's going to look best in the area that we've been given. As far as stock is concerned, I do have some amount of stock, but my more popular products is what I want to prep during the coming week. I've got lots of wire headbands that I'm not too worried about. I'm just going to spend maybe a day or so working on some solids. So my most popular solids, are blacks, whites, pinks, and since we're coming into autumn, I'm thinking I'll stock up a little more on my yellows and mustards and those kinds of colors as well, fall colors typically. So that's one thing that I'm going to work on. That will take care of my wire headbands. My husband's also working on a new display for the wire headbands because the older one has been through its paces. So that's in progress. He's going to do it in bits and pieces as he gets time during the week. What else? I also have a slightly different idea for displaying my twist headbands, and once those bits and pieces come in, I will show you what that looks like. That takes care of those bits. I might tweak my board display a little bit. I don't think I want to clamp that board onto the table, so I'm still working out what I'm going to do, and yeah, that's about it. I am super excited. I'm also extremely nervous at the same time. I'm hoping I have enough product to last through that 1 week. Worst case scenario, I'm going to have to pull from some of my inventory that's on the website and probably work on product in the morning before I get there and in the evening after I get back. The center operation hours are 9 to 5:30, except for Thursday, which is a 9 to 9 sort of a deal. So I really don't know what to expect. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a great learning experience. And I'm going to update you, of course, about how things go during the course of the week next week. So for now, I think I'm going to get started on my work for today and get started on those wire headbands. Wish me luck. So I finally finished up all of the cutting for the wire headbands. I know I said I was going to focus on just solids, but there's a few prints that I've included in there that I thought would work well. Here's what we have. It's a great big tub of fabric pieces all ready to be sewn now. So I'm going to spend a couple of hours, hopefully get done within a couple of hours. We'll see how it goes, and I'll see you back at the end of the day. Good morning, everyone. Well, not morning really, it's actually 2 in the afternoon, so good afternoon, I guess. It's time for a quick update. I spent all day yesterday as well as a little bit of this morning stitching up those wire headbands, and all of them have been, I've sewn all of those, and now the time has come to flip them over. The scrunchies as well, those of you who've been over here, we went on a live session a while back and sat and flipped most of these over. There's just a few left, and I'm going to just finish these off first and then move on to the wire headbands. So that's what I have in store for the day. It was a beautiful live session with a few of my regular viewers joining in and a few new ones as well, and I'm so glad to have had the opportunity to catch up with you guys. Those of you who would like to get notified of more upcoming live sessions, I plan to make them a regular thing. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications. I'll pop a post on a day or two before the actual live happens. So we're just going to sit and finish the rest of these and move on to the headbands. It's me again. It's just past 2:30 and I have finished working on the rest of them. So over a few days last week and this week, we've managed to stitch, sew and flip inside out about 280 scrunchies. That was one box, and we've got another one right here. So a lot of these are ready to go. Some of them will be finished this week itself. These will just be the ones that I need to take to my pop-up next week. And the rest I will actually tackle slowly as the week progresses, depending on what I need for my display. So scrunchies are done. It's now time to sit and tackle the headbands. These are all the headbands that I've sat and cut, stitched since yesterday. So that's one tub of these. Now it's time to flip these over. I don't know how many are in here, but while I'm flipping them over, I'll try and maintain a little bit of a count just to see how many we've managed to get done. It's been a long couple of days, but I've finally finished off all of the wire headbands. And now just this little bit is left. That's putting them on their backing boards. And they'll be ready for the pop-up next week. So the headbands are all done. I've put them around their backing boards. These are all the solids and a few of the prints that I've worked on. And next project is going to be putting the elastic. I've selected a bunch of scrunchies that I know I'm either out of and need to be restocked, or are new prints or colors. Hey guys, it's Friday evening. I thought I'd just come and catch you up on what's been going on. It's been a hectic past couple of days, not just with creating more inventory and stock, but we're also working on a brand new headband display. So this is going to be identical like the one that we already have for outdoor markets, but that's gotten a little, it's chipped and broken in a couple of places. So we thought we'd go ahead, make a new one. So the brand new one's ready. We potentially will be looking at painting this also. We'll see how we're placed as far as time goes, but the stand in itself is ready to use. I've invested in a couple of tabletops for this market because I can't use my trestle tables for whatever reason, can't use tablecloths. So basically it's got to look shopping center worthy, not market like. For whatever reason, those were the instructions I've given. I've also gone ahead and picked up a stool from Bunnings. Through the week we'll be there from 9 to 5:30, and Thursday we're going to be there from 9 to 9. So I might need to rest my feet for a little bit during the course of the day. We'll see how it goes. Again, the nerves have started kicking in now a little bit. But yeah, like you've seen, the headbands are done. I have not put the wire and sealed off all of them. I've just done what I need, but the rest of them are all ready to go. You've seen the colors and prints that I picked out. So these just need the wire put in. So if I sell out of all of those colors, then I've got backups. The putting the wire in and sealing it off doesn't take me too much time, so I can top those off as and when I need during the week. Same with the scrunchies. So I've got these many flipped out. We sat and did that while I did a live stream 2 days ago. That was fun. So these are some extras that I've got. Again, same idea, they're stitched up. If I need more, I'll just put the elastic through when I need them, stitch that off and top stitch the scrunchies, and they'll be ready to go. The reason I haven't worked on all of this is I'm running dangerously low on elastic. There's a couple of other things that I'm hoping to have the time over the weekend to put together. Even if I have about, I'd say 8 of those pieces ready, I'll be really happy. If I manage to finish that, I'll share with you then what I'm talking about. I keep recording teasers but never really get down to doing it. So I'm gonna keep my mouth zipped for now and we'll see how I go. What else? So my display is almost ready. Scrunchies are almost done. So the elastic has been sewn, and now all I have to do is snip the threads and just top stitch the scrunchies. So that will be done and I'll be really pleased once that's done. Shouldn't take too long. I'm aiming to finish it off today. My husband's had to pop out for a bit. It is about 5:45, so by the time dinner and all is done, I want to finish sewing it all so that all that's left is to snip the threads off. I happen to love this pair of thread snips that I got. I got them this time from a little haberdashery shop when I was in Mumbai. Cost wise, it was not much. It was hardly anything from what I remember, but it is so effective, so handy compared to the one that I had. The one that I have, mind you, is not a Fiskars. I picked it up from Aldi and it doesn't cut anything. It really doesn't cut much. That entire set of snips that I got, I think out of that, one is still unused, the large pair of scissors. There's one medium-sized one which is useless. The little embroidery sort of scissors is good. The snips were horrible. Lesson learned. I think I'm going to invest in Fiskars ones the next time, or for now this will do beautifully. I picked up one should be enough. I should have picked up a pair of tailoring scissors or fabric scissors. They had some beautiful ones there. I picked up one, but that was for my niece. She's been experimenting with designing her own clothes and stitching up a few bits and pieces, and I'm so proud of her. She doesn't work from patterns, mind you. She works freehand, and that is something, I mean, props to her. I don't think I can do that even now. I've never really tried even following a pattern, so I'm pretty sure freehand is not going to be my strong point at the moment. So she just got a brand new machine, a sewing machine, and she showed me a couple of the projects that she had worked on. I gave her a few tips to improve her finish, and I noticed that she didn't have a pair of fabric scissors, so I got her one of those. Should have bought myself one, but hey, next time I know what I'm going to pick up. So yeah, that's as far as the wire headbands and the scrunchies go. Once that's done, I might make a couple more. I think I've got one brand new fabric. Actually, I've got 3. two solids and one print of stretch fabric for my stretchy headbands, and I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do that. They go pretty quick though, so hopefully I'll manage to set aside some time tomorrow to take care of that. Speaking of which, never mind the box, I also got some hangers to display my headbands, and I'm hoping this looks a little tidier than the previous setup that I had. I've been looking for these hangers for so long. These were quite pricey for what they are, but what are you going to do? This is the only place that I found within Australia. It was an online, I bought this off eBay. They had stock in Australia, and I got it in like a few days after I ordered. So I'm happy. I'm going to see how these work. If they work, I might invest in a few more. Mind you, I'm not going to be handing these out to customers. This is just for display. And we'll see how it works. We'll see how it looks and then decide what to do. So I got a few of these. And you'll probably see them when we're setting up for the pop-up. So that's the hangers. I also got a big box of paper bags. There's been a lot of packages that have been coming through. The paper bags, I still have to put my little brand stickers on, still have to print those stickers. And I still have to figure out signage. I'm thinking I'll either DIY one, I'll DIY one myself. I've got two ideas in mind. I'm fingers crossed they work out. I will record what I'm doing. If it turns out all right, I'll share it with you. Otherwise, I'll have to scrap it and think of something else, because I can't really have my banner up to display that banner from. So that's going to be a little hard, but we'll see how it goes. Shouldn't be too bad. And that's about it for now. I'm going to sit down. I've got a cup of tea that's getting a little cold as I speak, and sit and snip the threads of my scrunchies. It's midweek and I thought I'd do a quick catch up. I've not had an opportunity to show you around since we started the pop-up. So I've changed a few things, and I changed a few things a couple of times over. I'm going to take you around and show you what it looks like. So this side is mostly dedicated to scrunchies. I've had to switch up my displays a little bit. So I've got my spinner with my mini and skinny scrunchies here. Got a few clips on display. Over onto our XL board and some more clips. And then we've got our two scrunchy boards side by side, followed by the towel scrunchies, the swim scrunchies, and a few new clips. So it's been a couple of days, a few days in fact, since our pop-up at Castle Towers, and I thought I'd come on and just break it down for you what our first indoor pop-up experience was like. I haven't been able to do this sooner because right after that I was accepted to a market for which I've been on the wait list for what seems like forever. I'd applied last year and we finally got an opportunity to trade at this particular market. So after spending a couple of days winding down from the pop-up, we went ahead and did that market of the weekend, after which I was so sick. I just had a sudden onset of a fever, and Not really the flu, but I was just under the weather for like a whole 4 days. I could not move. That's how bad I was. I very seldom get that sick, but for me, whenever I get sick, I really get knocked out. And for some reason, this was one of those times. So, anyway, today, after what seems like ages, I'm finally feeling more human again. I thought I'd turn the camera on and let you know how that pop-up went. So if you'd seen my first video for the year where I was setting out some goals for myself for 2025, I mentioned that I would like to do more indoor markets and pop-ups and such. So I'm so happy that we got one done. It was a fantastic experience. Was it the most profitable experience for us? Not really, but it did so many other things. One, it got the business name out there. We got new eyes on our product, and overall, it was a fantastic experience. I got to experience firsthand what trading inside a shopping center would be like for my business. And I got to understand what this particular demographic is looking for. It was a real eye opener. This one also was with very short notice. I think I had about a couple of weeks of maybe 2 or 3 weeks of notice before we had to actually set up, because that's the only availability that they had in the run up to Easter. And I really wanted to do a pop-up at this particular location during a slightly slower time, just to kind of gauge what it would be like when it gets busier. So in those ways, this was a brilliant experience for me. Would I do a 7-day pop-up like this again? I probably might. Call me crazy, I probably might. But not in a hurry, because it is physically extremely demanding, because it was just myself, and my husband popped by a couple of times during the day to relieve me so that I could go take a loo break, go get something to eat and things like that. And it was non-stop for 7 days. I'd go in at about 8:15-ish in the morning because we had to be ready to trade by 9. So just last minute restocks and setups and everything before things started. And by the time I wound up for the day, it was after 5:30. 5:30 is when we were allowed to kind of pack down. So it was a very intense week, to say the least. We sold out of a lot of products, and these are things we usually, some of them we do fairly well at markets. Some of these I had to come back home and whip up a few batches of. Case in point, all of my black scrunchies and headbands. Mind you, before the start of this pop-up, I had actually made a whole bunch of black scrunchies, black headbands, black twist headbands and wire headbands. And by day 2, that is Tuesday, I had to actually sit back and make more. That's how popular all of the blacks were. We sold through so many skinny scrunchies. I had to actually do a little bit of a restock on those as well. With everything else, it wasn't too bad, because I had, if you've been here for a while, you would have known that in the last year, I did 2 or maybe 3 massive satin scrunchie restocks. I had to pull a lot of stock from whatever I had set aside for the website. So I was glad to have that little bit of a buffer, because I knew I could come back and whip up some more to stick on the website eventually. So somehow I managed to kind of maintain stock levels through the week. And this was such an eye-opener, because I know if I'm going to do another one of these during a slightly busier time, it is going to be absolutely manic. We did get a brilliant delivery of a few bits and pieces, I think on the second day of the show. So halfway through the week, I could actually set up a few more things for the pop-up, which was nice. A lot of those things did really well. So I was really happy that I made that purchase. Needless to say, once that week was done, by the time Thursday rolled around, I was absolutely exhausted. I don't know how I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I did it. My husband, bless him, he managed everything else on the home front. So he would pop on by to relieve me at around lunch hour, bring me a sandwich, and some coffee and maybe a little cheeky treat every once in a while. And then he would pop by again at the end of the day to kind of help me back down. This is in addition to him working from home at his regular 9 to 5. So for the both of us, it was an extremely chaotic couple of weeks. Like I said, it was a great experience though. I was hoping to do a little better than I did in terms of revenue, but it is to be expected considering it was such a slow time of the year. So again, would I do a pop-up at this particular location again? I probably would. I just can't promise you when that would be, because I know I'd have to whip up a lot more product in slightly higher numbers, because as usual, the popular stuff just kept flying off the shelf, and I was really bummed that I did not have any more to kind of restock till I came home and whipped some up. Update on our little hangers that we got for the twist headbands. I'm not sure if I've shown you these before we went to the pop-up, but if you've seen the little clips of the actual setup, you would see that the twist headbands are slightly differently displayed, and I think that was a brilliant solution for me because I sold so many more of those headbands than I usually do. I'm really keen to see how they would do at my outdoor markets, so that'll be interesting, and I will keep you posted as we do more outdoor markets. So that's a little update as far as our Castle Towers pop-up goes. I hope you could take away a little something from my experience, and I'm really excited and looking forward to doing another one really soon. I think I'm going to end this video right here. I hope you enjoyed the prep, the setup, and the analysis, post-market analysis, so to say. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I truly appreciate every single one of you being here. If you're watching till this stage, thank you so much for your ongoing support, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. So till then, take care. Bye-bye.